Thinking that what should I discuss and share with my younger brothers and sisters, in whose hands, as people normally say, that in your hands the future of Pakistan resides. What do you mean by this? And how do we gel in ourselves in the united and the collective dream of Pakistan? Remember, Pakistan is not an ordinary country. Not because we are born here then and we love Pakistan, because every son and every daughter loves his and her mother. This is our motherland. But consciously, if you look back and study the history of the Committee of Nations, you will realize that Pakistan was a result of a collective dream. Which was dreamt by the Muslims of the Indo-Pak, United India, 74 years ago, in the leadership of a self-made man whose name was Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Never in the history of, at least of Muslims, had there been a country being made because of some ideology. Yes, there is another country whose former Prime Minister had categorically said that yes, he had declared Pakistan as their enemy. Yes, there is a country who was also made on some ideology which is Israel. And Pakistan is the ideological answer to that country. This is not something which I say. This is something which was stated in 1969, I suppose, in one of the similar environments, though the audience and the place and the time was different. And it was France, Sorbonne University, as France is in discussions these days. And I addressed President Macron from the worthy stage of your upper house, the Senate of Pakistan. I addressed him and I tried to communicate with him that why is it so that when you do something like this, it hurts around 1.75 billion Muslims around the globe. Why does it hurt so much when you abuse our holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So in the same country, France, in 1969, in Sorbonne University, the former Prime Minister of Israel, David Ben Gurion, had categorically said that Pakistan is our arch rival or enemy, and this is the ideological answer to Israel. And we should not let Pakistan prosper militarily and economically and intellectually. And in doing so, our friend or our natural ally is India, because India was cut into two and Pakistan was made. So that is the level of importance of Pakistan, that the people were probably lesser in population. The total population of Israel may be less than that of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, but they are controlling 80 to 85% of the world economy. Why? Because of the brains. I consider Israel as the enemy of Pakistan, no matter what people say. And I had categorically said this on the floor of the house, in the upper and lower house of Pakistan, in Parliament, in National Assembly, and specifically in the Senate of Pakistan. Do you think that by stating such, they would have just sat idle and would have not done anything to harm Pakistan? No. The enemies of Pakistan had been continuously to harm our country in any way possible. May that be going after our geographies or our ideological frontiers, going after our social fabric, going after our Islamic base. So now is the time that we should realize the importance this country has. Pakistan, when it came into being in 1947, under the able leadership of